Look guys, you guys got very big rams. I hope you don't get it from where I'm suspecting.
Do you think you're the only one who knows where all the good news come from? My son bought me this ram all the way from abroad with baluwo.
Oh yes, this must be baluwo. Me too, my daughter just bought one for me. True baluwo. With baluwo, everything is possible.
This Tabaski, you can buy ram for your family using the trusted Baluwo. Just log on to the www.baluwo.com website or download the app. You can buy ram, otherwise foodstuffs such as rice, sugar, cooking oil, and much more for your family this Tabaski. Baluwo, better than sending money.
Dreaming of owning a property in a prime location with great proximity and fantastic neighborhood? EJ Investments Sanyang Seaview Estate is the best choice you have been waiting for. Our Sanyang Seaview Estate is approximately 15 minutes drive away from the busy hub of Brusubi roundabout and into the heart of nature, where you can have a peaceful and relaxed lifestyle with your family. You can buy a finished 4-bedroom story with 5-year flexible payment plan or a service plot with 2-year payment plan option. With over 300 homes, you will enjoy big tar roads with covered drainage, modern electrification with solar street lights, gated entrance with security post, and a breath-catching experience of our beautiful sea view and lake view. You can own a home today at our Sanyang Seaview Estate. Call us today on 446-4838 or 325-9220. Visit our website on ejinvestments.net. EJ Investments, first in property.
Underlines, underpins everything. But here tonight, it's not only the award that we will be doing. There are other activities that we will have to go through tonight. Amongst them includes the inauguration of the Governing Council of the Media Council of the Gambia. We will also launch the State of the Press Freedom Report, and before we get into the National Journalism Awards. And we have about 13 awards to give tonight. There have been much more awards that we had intended to give, and the President will talk to you about that. But of course, like we said, you have to be deserving to be awarded. Therefore, we will call on the journalists to do more and do better, such that any award identified would be won by next year. Without further ado, I would like to invite the members of the Media Council. This is going to be the inauguration of the Media Council. I will invite the chair, who is my own teacher and lecturer, Nana Gray Johnson, to come introduce the council and give us a statement on the MCG. Thank you, Mr. Gray Johnson.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you, Mr. MC. Thank you very much. I am thrilled to be here. As a matter of fact, I'm even more thrilled that I'm going to be the first official speaker for tonight. But then I have a simple task, and that task is to introduce the Media Council of the Gambia. And I think, frankly, the word introduction would be more appropriate than inauguration, because that's another ceremony that we might have to work on. But for tonight, let me make it very short by introducing the members of the council here with us. And I will start with the Secretary General ad interim, Mr. Mustafa Mbai. Please put your hands together for a dynamic young man. He's working to get us settled into a secretariat, and we will be appointing workers into the secretary full-time to occupy the space that we've been given to start our work. Next to Mr. Mbai is Mrs. Aisha Davis Ann, and she comes from the government sector. That tells you that this is a collaborative effort at the council. That Madam Ann is part of the council, which strengthens our collaboration with government, and we want to make sure that that collaboration goes on. Next to her is the man from World. He was very happy to see Child Fund written on the cover. That's Mr. Dabo, Mfamara Dabo, a strong supporter of our craft, the media craft. And after that, we've got Mr. Babukar Cham, well-known radio writer, and he's a member of the, thank you very much, Mr. Cham. And last but not least, we have Mr. Minyan Job. Minyan Job is a strong man from the Chamber of Commerce and has other tentacles that we are going to take advantage of to make sure that the council works. Thank you very much, Mr. Joe. We have other members who are not here. The Vice President, Ms. Fatu Jeng, I'm sure is making it here. Mr. Sheriff Bojang, and who else? Mr. Ansumana Sano. We have yet to see them arrive, but here we are, and we are happy to be partnering with the GPU. As a matter of fact, we grew out of the creche that the GPU had provided, and it is a long story and it's a happy story. And if I go back to 1989, when we were mooting the idea of some kind of self-regulatory body, and the PPP government trying to find out what we meant by that, and all the old names that we have dealt with over the years, just talking about the council and self-regulation. We are happy, as a matter of fact, that today, some 30 years later, we do have a council, and that is the result of the work of many, many people who gave concerted work, who gave dedicated service to make sure that we are here. You will be hearing from us after we have fully inaugurated and we have established a secretariat. And we thank you very much for having us among you. We are happy that DGPU is organizing an evening like this. It makes us all proud. This gives us the kind of limelight we need so that we can really work as a fourth estate. I thank you very much, Mr. MC, and I thank you. Have a good dinner.
Giving us this historical part of it, I remembered in one of his lectures, he told us that whoever thinks the freedom of the press would be given to you on a silver platter, that must be the biggest joke that you're making. He said, freedom fight for the press has been ongoing since the colonial days, where it's the people in the press and people that believe in the work of the press that fought. Some people expected that the colonial government would give it. They never gave it. Came the first dispensation, the fight continued. It wasn't given. We all know what happened in the just past dispensation. This is when he was telling us this in a classroom. He said, If you're thinking that they're going to give it to you, get to go do something else. Now, even if the system changes, the fight continues. And I consider that I said to myself, yes, it's true. But then, if you look at the way the world is going, the biggest fool is the person that fights against the press, because you're never going to win. The press will always prevail. Because I've never seen anywhere that the press has been a loser. Yes, we will struggle for a while, but eventually, the press wins, because the principles for which we stand concerns everybody. So the fool is the person who thinks they will fight down the press, because in the end, they don't even know that a freer press is in their interest. And that's why what we do is noble, and I encourage us all to do it to the best of our ability. We will have some entertainment while we allow Mohammed and Alaji to set up. I would also say that when this award started 3 years ago, we had some challenges getting funds. It's not easy to put on a gathering like this. So we would please ask people that can to adopt especially awards like the press freedom, human rights, children's reporting. These awards keep coming. And if you can identify yourself with it, it's very, very important. Because then we are sure every year you will come our way, and every year you will give it to us. And to say that, I would like to extend our thanks to the following. The Child Protection Alliance. They started last year, and they are back. Temple Legal Practitioners. Thank you for supporting. KMF Technologies, thank you for supporting. We also have the Westminster Foundation for Development. Madi and team, thank you for your support. We have unique solution coming our way, SNS Properties, and a host of other supporters. The more we have, the merrier. If the entertainers are ready, while we prepare for the next part of the ceremony, Segu, the entertainers are ready. The show is yours.
Yeah, assalamu alaikum. Well, as a Gambian born and raised in the United States, I'm going to speak slangs because my English is too good to the extent that, well, I might communicate. Okay. Saturday, because now the Gambian journalists all find the seal. We are journalists. Yes, sir. Hey, you get all right. Yalla moy bour rek. Yaya Jammeh, when he said, I reject the results in totality, some journalists went back. They were standing at the border, but they went back. You know, la ilaha illallah, ñun man demo. Bepare, suma mam sose bi munema. He, iko yaya balantale ni ala ni kilate. Ñina na bentel kere soba na ñimbanko kanje. So, my name is Alaji Mohammed, and he is Alaji Bora. We do comedy, but actually, sometimes it's not only about making people laugh. It's saying the fact. The Gambian journalist fraternity To me, they are the backbone of this country. You people have been strong, you've been staunch, you stand on your ground. We all know to survive a dictator is not easy. But you keep trying, you keep pushing. So to me, this democracy we are enjoying today, every Gambian owe it to you people. So clap for yourself. The likes of Sadio Barrow, if you see Sadio Barrow reporting today and saying, well, I don't care, I don't worry anymore, democracy is here. But those days at GRTS, when you give a script to somebody, you say, la ilaha illallah, man madam read li. Ya jame approve it, ko man ma read ko. That means peace. There is no price for peace. So let's enjoy our peace and let's love each other and respect each other. And I'm seeing Horija Balage Barrow here. You break my heart. You broke my heart. Because I was saying, you know, Alaji Barrow is a very good friend of mine, but I stopped calling him because of Horija. The day I had that Alaji Horija Futula, they said Truth and Reconciliation Commission, but not Truth and Marriage Commission. Huh? And, you know, to be honest, because I was watching TRRC because of Horija, I was saying, okay, she's single. But the day she got married, I said, forget this Mbojo TRRC. And I was a big fan. The TRRC is the best. I used to complain, but now when they are saying TRRC, I say, they should even stop this TRRC. Jealousy is at its peak. So, Horija, please give a round of applause to her. She's super intelligent. And then, finally from me, before I hand the mic, you know, Gambian women, they've been brave. Our mothers are great. And you see this minister sitting here, the directors, they are sitting here, but most of them are afraid of their wives. Yeah, I was so surprised. I went to a minister's house, and this minister, whenever he's with Barrow, he's so strong. You know, atakala jang, Gambia jang, Barrow be mela janne, Barrow dina fiyaga, so len ko bugu touches niya. I went to this guy's house. The wife was sending him for pobar. This is very rhetoric. You see them at work, they are very strict with their staff. If you don't do this work, I'm going to sack you. But go at home, they are, you know, women have the power. Women, they have the power, they have the strength. It is only a woman, you will shout at her. You'll come and say, baby, come on. I saw you talking to that nigger. What is wrong with you? And then she will give her devil voice. Baby, are you shouting at me? You don't kill, you finish. That's the time you will see the fool go down. Baby, I didn't mean it. It's just a joke. You know, the same woman, you know, when you're watching movie, there are some things you see, you think it is applicable in this environment, but no. I watched a love movie. It's an American movie. You know, this guy had a problem with the girlfriend, and then when he was closing from work, he just entered a supermarket and get a flower, common flower. You know, he used that as a leverage to talk to the wife so that the girlfriend will come down. It's a girlfriend, in fact. And then when he went and then knocked the door, the guy see the flower, said, baby, I'm on my knees, forgive me. And then that's the end of that problem. So I thought this will work in Gambia. I had a problem with my girlfriend. I said, okay, let me go and get flour. It's a different story. I got the flour. I came home and then I knocked their door. She opened it. I said, baby, ngiri yàlla balal ma indil na la flour bi. Mu ne ma, yow yaa ñàkk jom. Nit yi ñu ngi jëndal seen jàng ay iPhone. Yow yaa ma indil flour. Xanaa ay béy laa am fii. Hey! Especially our moms, fine, they are good. But these young girls of this generation, they are too dangerous because they are romantic. They're romantic. They will take you to certain position. You will even use the money of your company, and then they fire you. Imagine a village boy like me. When I was immediately from the village, I came from the village, I met one Wolof girl. I said, aha, no more mutara sign. Not knowing she was the one who got me. A fool like me. La ilaha illallah. And then it was Sunday Beach. It was time for Sunday Beach. And then I said, baby, I'll take you for Sunday Beach. It turns out to be the devil's beach. And then I said, okay, no, I will take you to the supermarket. And then you can take whatever you want on the line, whatever. I was having only $500. We entered. Me, Mandinka man. Nobody called me sweetheart. She was using all acronyms to sweetheart. She says, Daddy, jalna ice cream. Man, no problem, jalal bobo. I calculate 85 minus 500. No problem. Shortbread. You know, when she said shortbread, it's a type of biscuit. But at that time, I don't know. I just think it was maybe tapalapa or Sanford. I said, okay, take it, no problem. Not knowing that shortbread is $95. I said, tapalapa Sanford, just $7. Take it. And then said, there is burger here, nkai alandi. Te communes man sumaya de bugali, nkai inte farmer ne na man burger do. Tekko. Okay, now I wouldn't want to take much of the time. I'll hand the mic to Alaji Bora. So thank you, sir. All right, okay. We have my uncle is here, Mr. Silla. It's my uncle, and then he's a very good man. And then I guess that's tough. Tough is not only building the Gambia, but it's building the world. So we should support our own people, you know. Tough is a way of bouncing you anyway. I'll come back. This is a way of getting to know you more. I'm Mohammed, okay? I'm not saying this for free. Bombs, we got techniques. Tough, you are the best in this world. Whilst I'm saying, yeah, my mother, why? So, Boraski, your floor is yours.
Assalamu alaikum. Mohamed tonya foman dia bari mu wulu balti. Yes. Yalong this boy ntela na katang ka dokuo ke. Bar ngalon ko jama bi jam mina min fola soto kola fo wole Mohamed nyol soto. Barmbe Mr. Silla kontonda folo. Soto kola fo nay moma ka garaw ba kala Mohamed nyol wuluta saral yonne. Nka Freetown. Birin kelo mamanta Mohamed nyol la soto muruta koma. Jawara ya kata aye fintindi nang aye nati Gambia. Nenne Mohamed findida nanya Freetonian sunkurol je kanamwe na Kono Street o Bo Street. Nga Mohamed nga militara diamond nyene la saralion sarahulol ni jahankol birol yoko do so ye fonyo aku kamfo la. Ni aje taka ka aku kamfo e mankudu teje. But Mohamed amanya siata buka tonya fo sunkutole. There was a day narata penjami. A lot of stage kai English for slang for Gambia ke oldung. Fake life dia bata mole. E ka fo dole big man wolte big man they are small man. Mohamed tata angale kan fire fajita stage kan sunkuro kai my bro the way you speak I appreciate it. Kai you will appreciate something else. Akai Mohamed dinanyo study. Ngai muso ngai ko ntamalla wala Musa jenak sinegi olu malolo. Etane Mohamed la study je. Ale angale kan al to karanna baral be fendo karanna. Sunkudo nye Mohamed jikinda kai ko sonde wularo mina. Mohamed tata box ay soto dum pisot. Ngatara be train nan kai boy munekata ko nyambe exercise lela. Gambia kewdo numuso kay mbaka na jareta la ta bilge don to kodo mbe siri mbe atala peron ko to nyankumo nata nyankumo konoma bira rido ma Muhammad Barta ko min kay musu nyankuma kono malo nyinde foyno fana be kano leta la kono ma bari tonya ngapita bakele bari tonya surwa kambandil ni be kesirole kadiyam bakele olof yi ñomu na ciis alaji manka hamna dara sisa surwa kambano ngatara be surwa sunkuto rap la ba ciis la aka gis nga tax bi suma bay moko sam jalaka kay hay olof dang koy dik ay man wa Kaolack kon olof dang koy dik kay sampa ñaar la ni sila waxe suma bay mo sampa neeg bi dang ko waral la ndax sa bay maçon la wala mo gene xalisam ci mo Gambia sumbuli neuli ala ko kambalo fa bak hana yen hamut ñu bari ñu ngi dawal fi moto momun ko ni natan ni moto parkta don koy ko ID moto bi suma bay moko mom wala koy moto bi mako mom ita ñinin kala dafa melni re suma la waxe talal sa loxo ma ñaan la nga na amin ya rabbi bala ma door ñaan da nga wara jël sa time suma la waxe na yalla nga de nga na amin nak da nga wara bay ñaan bi ñu door tedu bar surwa kambanil ni be cesirole ka dangerous back dawo se iya 2011 nga sunkuto case surwalo mu ñenti ka fay ana Juuf lom nga ce 6 months mbanoma nga case ama reply banna salo sita ko nya nanguna berin tobaski sita ko nya nanguna ko alhamdulillah rabbil alamin na santana yalla ya rafa wotu monta man santana yalla ke nde santa musu banaru lake banna sita suta en ko la ko nya dadi kay yes momi akonya fone kanen kay mang si digi lali way la ilaha wotu mo mang si digi dof akonya xam nga luma buga kay hawma ko de hananga wax akonya man ben dalla la buga ak jiin ak top aya fonya tu momi nan kay wo mu jolleti akonya man banjul lay janda suma yere kay ndesan wotu mo wacca bu bes mbo kuto bolon kono nka ko lutax ma lo fla sa affaire bi moma neex akonya tay luma lay def kendu ko wax ndata banjul nga fengal be sa ñun sun kuto en nata wotu mo nga soka we singleke Youssou Ndour lu mu wax degala duma top diw fu ngeen demone serewul nga soka we le sing Mohamed Nosit mbetajo wotu mo mbulo be tiñata nga setulo mala diw karité so nim futata ma nabe hok lambuka so ko rayla because wotu mo hani mbayge fay bulon tele jatat billahi so no nga hokta ko nya lila lankay no style atar style te loxo bi mo wo ja ñentala fangal leta aya dum akonya ko ngon ngañaw ñu genn ñu dem ci beach wularon tata lo rawna bato to Westfield nga call akonja the number you are calling is currently busy yara fotuma be currently busy wandi bunkol nga call ended nga call akonye ta soto no la nga hani man kuma fonde be nyi soto la nga no tababe bonnale sabanya nga call ke kanamba dole asika akonya bro danga nyaka hel ka lu he akonya ki jabar jambur ranka yere jambur nga de lal fofu de nga ko dépasse surwal kaf minna yafal mbam pourtant yalla mu nekata Gambia sunkuti nil albe kataki manjiki la bunda la yeta alfanje yara fanna dal billahi wallahi ngal mal hakilotu ñin tanki ganar to cikin tanki ganar mi nem bay suñu hel ñu moytul ay loof kol yandi de e kana moy la dundu bi cherna li cherna ko ceeb seerut malo seerut mbugel mo cher Gambia ja nin ko do tebulita musikendo sotola billahi wallahi taala ndaw jakaltal ni muso benta akonyo ko bora nge doro nakanu ngai manta doro kanu kantun today's your first day to see me akonyo fo mbuketel to mo radio to ngai tour bu ngade de bobu rek la emde khalis amudde nimbe kanu la ngakanu bar ko do tije ngai nolo ngando mbal faling aman so ni aja nga kata nyina nga iPhone o sotal yalla na muneketa al moy hani albe lorintal be neto mungu ko neto albe jaw yaru wonyal ite ngasunkuto case bakaw wotumo double simo le bembulu nga case nka can I have your number konya bring your phone bring nga bonda aje ko double simo la konya balal ma man ak suñu yaay ñu ñoo de use ben phone nga dedet nga funo min bondi wolom ngo mole ko mba ay funo duwañi ni na fo nga soto ni nga ay funo bondi doron kay can I please have your number kaje la tatta fo do ka fa nya amna kiusel ngo yokal fofu orange yalon Muhammad kamin fo Alhaji Baro ni horjato kulole bije kulolom aduna sekere la olof mu ne xaj bo gis de lekkat day kon bu dee laal si diggi boppam mu ñëw si mbooloo boobu leen dee yëg wuloo bee la ka buwo dooma min ka maakum la wala kalo Facebook bi sita bugana horjo bugana li yalo wulu su boobe kandiru waato mina waato le ka domo man na sumoyata Youssou Ndour ya folo góor du yox barke jamal be la fenu horjala she is beautiful abukatul tadadu du de def jaaro defa simple mo man hani so Alhaji Baro ali aramuta atata li moy njeriñ soldat nekuta ngalo taxaw ci choke point so Alhaji Baro ay tandilo ko atamu sojarol ta ala ke yaali tandi mbari newlom bara Alhaji Baro wati soto de Gambia ko leandi mol bullet wo wato fa han esa fa la angale kan sulota because biri mani na fana na angale kan ka bete ya bakele bar biri hor jaftata drong esa fa nga jala bire kasiya bake wato do li ka sungudi ne le yiye nyinti yaral be dula foti nga ngalon foti yarar abe dula ha yalo nyinti yarar kulole bije Alhaji Baro alla nyim mambam foro ba sal damalle be nyotala nyotema alim fananta fitaro la je yo mba kulo sila damin wala mu journalist la karolati bimbe journalist bengalo to bi bari yalon biri ñu Gambia nata commentator milka diamu ñow bari ndulato e keta journalist oti DJ e keta journalist oti mbiroli e keta journalist oti njende njaayoli e keta journalist oti yalla do ko ko yandal malde bar journalist ol be Gambia jang Ibrahima Silla do ko be bul ngoy tol muy la ñaaton koti ha kanto ngamera journalist ol they are under you kodi fault Gambia no le lafta kam min fo mobe salo alin sin hakilo tu journalist ko to journalist ol la do ko ya bulebul bara manke doro ni ka pap to petle play lombol ina moji lombol pil ina moji iko kata demokrasi la kacha ita to lombol pile la ba ni ka jali bala play amanke ni ko si radio to momo kadiam radio to mu journalist olti manke journalist oti waxkat amna warekat amna nekut kude ware waxkat la momo na la do ku wolom bar Gambiano li nyantala nga hakiloto ni ko demokrasi ngalom ba sambala nyamin kana danna tambo kije nga kanya yo esa fal woni yankuba Touré la ko mbala banna wolto desan aduna moy lolu lunsi me nyaaw fo safa bi e safa la pare wala yankuba Touré sila anaya la nafo mil londi because wolun e safa li e pare lo ko Buhari so biri yankuba e nafo nyinje loring ay mbasanyo jiba 20 lom fo gasnyer lomba biri yankuba nyaayo pare oje ako tonya ku fe mati ja balanta aka immunity min fo wote de e safa la pare wala keta immunity wala na man diamuno bar butun si kumolo jang alma nyim ben sifa alma siala al yaki jang alma jari nga nyonke na banko fana min bakan alma ale kairo sabatin ni nyim banko kan yo press union no man fo press club lomba alma e canal press baral salal be min fana fola foto tonyati ndafa boka folo kono because ngo mole ko be Gambia journalist le malan ko no journalist bi janne milka diam radio ta la fo DJ yela DJ yalke commentator yela football commenting ke yedabo politico to yedabo journalist report because ni manke journalist oti tamira angale kan la diate da because Gambian wala bata English la dung we believe in big words when to use and where to use and whom to use bari te katulori be big wodo fola drong imala minil long ni aja han English nka fail exam wolom Nga Gambia no tarabe sunkuto chase la bafly. If you are a flower, I will implant you into my heart and water you with my blood. Nga ebe falale. You don't have that enough blood to water somebody. You will die. Nga do fanantar jaba falako ha. I'm mad about you. Nga nyamato buka love ke. Nga daughter Robafla, my heart melt for you. Nga are you an iron? Ibe melt la munela. Nal nyai musolja Gambia kyoli ninga musolja nkadiyam ba kele de. Billahi nkadiyam la la barka ba. Ngo ale hekambe yara fam pabo bo bidani pabo bin kada fayo keda do 2016 pabo wo yero sana na studio ko ay giro bo da ko dina ma fam ke solo bin pabo wo den giro la ya janne ko mo be pabo wo butale ko do dide pabo wo no ben studio le babu bara bantu mo be ka mo to sa ka bo di jana ko ko no mo to bara pa bo we mo to di ya sinda bi ko sa du na mo to la so afana mi den nda ko mi ka diam nda na baro ko to kayra baba ni bata ka bat be na baro ko to kayra ba do muso nyaay e bo na mo le ta pu dan ba do mo ni nga muso dem ka tan pa ma fa de nan no ma fa de tan musole nde do to na hadiamu wahal yow tam wahal wa sabata de sori sabata fofuda musole ndu ndalo ngo ha man sakunda do bulal wotu mo official ko ne ka ya de ko ma kuma ka fa la bayna ya ma official ko do bayna ya jalla dol ka fa selu tuba so ko ya dalle kirim to kemele be yara to mo lo ko yara fa yo video ta ya place house so dawo di ka ko ngela video di bese da sun kai ko mun ka ya da ma di afro han ka ba be ya ta Senegal nga pa Sudan su to be ko kan sa do ko nga mo ko futa lo na ko dada ngo ko mi ena ye na kan ka man sa da mala ni ko sa ka wonda pa ke ba birne ya ko su de woto do ki ko ta di na do da na ko no be mi dal billahi wotu mo hanin meta mala kili nin taxi do ma te ko na lo ka ko ngo ya da de mu do na ko na ya da de ko biya wala da u da hanilo na ko da ko na ya ko ya da ka pala de ko akan ya na ka no mo ma ni hai da ko pa na ma ko yo.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together once more for the two gentlemen. They're amazing. They're unbelievable. Thank you very much. That shows the media fraternity. Every one of us is expanding. And I got a challenge here for one of us from the gentleman. He's asking the press to be the press, those who choose to be journalists to be journalists. We're insisting that we should ensure the same work that we do our job well and so excellence. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, before we go to the next event, I would like to recognize the presence of the Minister of Justice for the Gambia, Mr. Batambedu, also the Minister of Information, who is our very Minister, Ibrahim Asila. I would like to recognize the gentlemen of the press, the past presidents that are here with us. D.A. Jao is one of them. Thank you for coming. And all the gentlemen and ladies who have done it for the press in the past and as well as the present. Launch of the State of Press Freedom. This is going to be done by the Honorable Minister for Information. But before him, we will invite the President of the Gambia Press Union to make some remark. Mr. President, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. MC. The Honorable Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Tambiru, the Honorable Minister of Information, Ibrahim Silla, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, friends of the media, dear colleagues, and to our special guest, Femi Falana, veteran Nigerian lawyer and former president of the West Africa Bar Association. Ladies and gentlemen, before going any further, I seek your indulgence to pay tribute to Mr. Falana as a champion of human rights, not only of Nigerians, but of Africans and Gambians in particular. Femi Falana is the Nigerian lawyer that first tested the strength of the ECOWAS Court in Abuja. We'll all recall the cases of disappeared journalist Chief Ibrahim Amani. May Allah bless his soul if he is dead. May he be at peace wherever he is if he is not dead. And tortured journalist Musa Sedikan. Femi Falana is the lawyer that took those cases to the ECOWAS Court of Law in Abuja, and they both ended with victory for press freedom, victory for democracy, and victory for Africa. We commend the government for paying the compensation to the family of Chief Ibrahim Amani, another journalist, and we encourage the government to carry on with the negotiation to pay the compensation for tortured journalist Musa Sedikan. I think a lot of speakers here after me will talk about the press-government relationship, something that we will have to highlight and stress. But for those of you who don't know Femi Falana, in December 2016, when the Gambia was in chaos during the political impasse, when there was a lot of confusion as to whether the Supreme Court that never was will be constituted and former President Jammeh's election petition would be heard. Then came big rumors and speculations. Nigerian judges were on their way to the Gambia. I was working in Dakar at West Africa Democracy Radio as a producer, and I remember I reached out to Femi Falana early in the morning to ask if Nigerian judges were coming to the Gambia to constitute the Supreme Court. Femi Falana, very good old man, very brilliant man, but also a very loud man. He said, and I quote, "If Nigerian judges go to the Gambia, I will shut down the Nigerian government." And he gave me his word. He said, this was around 11 in the morning. He said, give me up to 5, 6 p.m. I will come back to you. Between 11 and 5, 6, he must have called me 10 times to give me update. He met Nigerian Chief Justice. He met cabinet ministers. He met other authorities in Nigeria. I waited and waited and waited. One day, I thought the day would never come to an end. And 10 p.m., when I was already set to leave the studio to go home, he called. And, "Sheriff, where are you?" I said, "I'm in the studio, but I'm leaving." He said, "Go back to the studio. I'm ready." And in the interview, he said loud and clear that I can assure you with 100% certainty that not a single Nigerian judge, private or official, will come to the Gambia, and I've had assurance from the Chief Justice and others that they won't. I said, what assurance do you have that they won't change their minds? He said, if they come, I will organize a 1 million-man march and we will shut down this government. There will be nothing to be done in this country. And on behalf of the people of the Gambia, Mr. Falana, and on behalf of the Gambia Press Union and Media Fraternity, I salute you and commend you from the bottom of my heart for being there for us when we needed you. Mr. Femi Falana, ladies and gentlemen. Now to the State of Press Freedom report in the Gambia. It has been a very somber, very emotional week for Gambian journalists and media fraternity and Gambia Press Union. You must all have been following the TRRC, and we're not going to go back to talk about what happened because those who testified and those who will testify have spoken and will speak about some of the atrocities and gross rights violations meted out to journalists. But today we gather here to celebrate the resilience of the Gambian journalists and Gambian media fraternity and the Gambia Press Union. During those tough days, during those tough times, institutions came, institutions left, activists came, activists left. Some organizations disappeared into the clouds. Immediately they were set because there was a roof of insecurity hanging over everybody's head. Gambian media and Gambian journalism and Gambian journalists and Gambia Press Union stayed. Of course, some of us fled into exile. I think I fled before a lot of other people, but then a lot of colleagues stayed behind to keep the house together. And because of that resilience, we are all gathered here today to celebrate freedom. Every time we talk about this new political dispensation, different people attribute it to different organizations, to different events, different incidents, and rightly so. But I think what we cannot disagree with, what we cannot say no to, is the role of the media in effecting change in the country. Gambian journalists, thanks to them, young men and women, the atrocities that were going on in the country was exposed. The government was isolated by the rest of the world, and the citizenry finally raised their fists to the sky and say, free at last. So ladies and gentlemen, I called all of you to put your hands together for Gambian journalists, men and women who took whips, who took bruises, who were hurt to the extent that some of them today, we look at them, we see smiles on their faces. You look, their back is full of bayonet marks. A lot of people, some of them my personal friends, who had electricity on their genitals, they will never recover. Some, Data Hydra, may Allah bless his soul. Never again in the Gambia shall journalists face tyranny, a brutal tyranny that did not just handicap the profession, but change people's lives for the worse, some forever. Can we give a round of applause to every journalist in this building? I think if you are a journalist, you should celebrate yourself. If you hear those testimonies at the TRRC, they were meant, what happened to anybody in this country was meant to break us into pieces. But because of our resilience as people, our resilience as a fraternity, it made us stronger. Some fled, some stayed, some chose safe journalism and went into entertainment, but then we all supported each other. We were all there for each other. We all gave each other shoulders to lean on. Fast forward the story, dictatorship ended. It eclipsed into history and gave way to this new Gambia that we all yearn for and that we all celebrate in our own ways. Of course, we won't see eye to eye, and that's natural. Some things are wrong. Some things need to be corrected. It's a challenge. But what we can celebrate and what I want to celebrate is the freedom to be what I want to be in this country today. We don't have a perfect system. And we're going to go, and we're not apologetic for that, we're going to go after those responsible for our welfare, not because we hate them, not because we don't love our country, but because we want the best for ourselves and our children. So the government representatives, our dear friends, Sekou would always say, my favorite cabinet member, Batamberu, we are not afraid to say we are looking, we're checking, we're scrutinizing, we'll be monitoring what you do, not because of hate, not because of anything else, but because of our patriotism and because of our sheer love for this country. But what we want to celebrate might be nothing anywhere else. In Senegal, it might be anything, nothing. But in this country, the fact that we can engage the Attorney General, the Chief Justice, the Minister of Information, the Director of Press and Public Relations, to talk about things that matter to us, I think that in itself is worth commendation. And we look at that and we see hope. Since the arrival of the the so-called new political dispensation, we no longer look at our shoulders to find out and to confirm that nobody is eavesdropping. We don't have to hide to speak. We don't have to die for speaking the truth. And as a fraternity, and on behalf of the Gambia Press Union, I want to call on every Gambian not to be complacent, to be vigilant, to support the government, to support the institutions in making sure that we don't lose these gains. We uphold them, we nurture them, we own them, we celebrate them, and we leave them. As a union, we love this country, and we are we're interested in the peace and prosperity of this country. And this is why, as part of our policy and as part of our interest and our passion, we want a Gambia where freedom of information and freedom of expression is supported and is in our law books. And this explains why the Gambia Press Union, ladies and gentlemen, approach civil society organizations, a lot of civil society organizations in this country, and we set up the Civil Society Coalition on Freedom of Expression. Works are underway, discussions are underway to make sure that we push for a freedom of expression, freedom of information law in this country, because this is not just about journalists, it's not about me or any other journalist, this is about everybody in this country. Ladies and gentlemen, I also want to take this opportunity to thank the ladies and gentlemen who came forward with passion, with dedication, with determination to work with us and to be members of the Media Council of the Gambia. Mr. Gray Johnson and Co., on behalf of the Gambia Press Union, we thank you. Everybody in this country agree on one thing. As a result of what we went through for 2 decades, there was something sometimes unethical about what we do as a fraternity, Like anybody else, we're not perfect. We all agree that we need to do something about ethical standards. But the problem has always been, what do we specifically do to address the problem? We thought about a lot of answers. We discussed a lot of issues. And as a union, we came up with the Media Council of the Gambia, a self-regulatory body that will be policing the police, that will be monitoring what we do, that will tell us that we are wrong when we are wrong, in the hope of professionalizing the profession and strengthening the ethical standards in this country. So to you, the journalists, this is voluntary, the Media Council is voluntary, and we ask all of you to submit yourself 100% in order to make this work. The State of Press Freedom Report in the Gambia, this booklet talks about the success stories that we want to celebrate, but also the challenges, with also the dangers, the potential risks in the country. And finally, to the representatives of the government, we appreciate your goodwill, we appreciate your dedication to press freedom issues in the country. We appreciate your openness to receiving the GPU whenever we need you, and we appreciate everything else. But the message from the union is also clear. While we succeed and we celebrate with the government authorities in the fact that some of the laws, draconian, obnoxious legislations, media legislations that were inimical or even risky to the work of journalists are now out of the way, we still have some pending legislations that we're working with the authorities to have it out of the way. It is not enough that we have a president who's shown goodwill to journalists, we have an attorney general, we have an information minister, and we have government authorities that show goodwill to the government. That is not enough. If we have these repressive laws, pending repressive laws in our law books, that means anybody else, any government, any president, any minister who comes tomorrow can rely on those laws to get us back to where we are 2.5 years ago, about 3 years ago. So unless we have those out of the way, we have those out of our law books, we are not out of the woods yet. And I want to take this opportunity to encourage the government, the ministers, and everybody else to push for those repressive laws, pending repressive laws, to be out of the way in order to make the atmosphere completely conducive for journalists to work. And I hope and I have no doubt that we will achieve our dreams in that endeavor. So on behalf of the Gambia Press Union, I thank all of you for being here. Thank all of you for your support, for your trust. Of course, sometimes we go wrong and there is a lot of hesitation. Whenever things don't go well, I always say that, for example, on the social media, when there is a lot of information from the citizens, from the news consumers, they will put it out. Everybody becomes breaking news journalists. But when they are stuck, people don't get access to any information and they are so desperate to get information, they blast us. Then it becomes, where are the journalists? So we are not perfect. This work in progress, 22 years of mess, you don't expect that to be corrected within a few years. As like any other institution in the country, we are a work in progress. We're working hard. We hear your cries, and hopefully we can, in a few years, perhaps, we can raise our fists to the sky and say, Gambian people, we've produced 10 good Gambian journalists, and that will be enough for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. You did say freedom at last, but I noticed along the line you also recognize that the fight should continue. So freedom for now will also suit this occasion, and we should make sure it continues. Matambedu, we really respect what you're doing for justice system in the country. We think work continues. Let me share with you, I worked with the Gambia Radio and Television Services. I'm like, CIA was my boss. Back then, everybody thought, once you work for the radio, for GRTs, you're good. You're right, you don't have to make mistakes. And even if you make mistakes, you're fine. And when the comedian mentioned Sadio Barrow, I said, yeah, if only you know. There was this day during the 2006 elections that I walked into the office because I worked late night. When I arrived, my boss was behind the computer editing. And then I noticed his immediate assistant, Hadibaji, with his toilet bag. I was like, what is a toilet bag doing in the office at this time? And then someone told me that a certain report came from one of our reporters, the late Dulu, and that report didn't go down well. Whoever thought the report should favor them. And who was the editor? It was Hadibaji. So he was prepared. That bag was in preparation for a trip to the Nile that never was. So it was not all the time rosy. But Mr. President, I also will tell you that for me, one of the most important storyline in the GPU was the 2008 GPU Congress that ushered in data power sourcing. And this is the reason why. I remember there was a deliberate plot to take over GPU. And people that have not been members of the GPU were being registered everywhere. As a start of GRTS, they called me and said, there's a meeting, a list is drawn, so we can register with the Gambia Press Union and for election purposes. I said, all right. When I came to the press, nobody had to tell me that I need to belong to a professional group called the GPU. I'm already a member, I'm not going to that meeting. And somebody called me, those kind of people that will be in the system to tell you, be careful. I said, fine, I know what I should be careful of. I know Gazama knows what I'm talking about. I never went to that meeting. And then, as a concerned person, because one of my senior people was already in the net, said to myself, if that guy could be arrested and tried, and nobody raised a finger except for the Foroya and the Gambia Press Union, there is no way that the GPU must fall into the hands of those people that they are bringing in to fight. So we went to that Congress. We closed ranks. We fought. Fortunately, most of the people on that list that they brought in were not qualified. It was not us that disqualified them, but there was some regulation, some laws in the GPU constitution that says no, they can't be members for now, because you don't have to wait till last minute and you have to register people. So this is why for me, that particular election is important. I can imagine if they had taken over GPU, if anybody would have told Sekou at the TRRC the last man standing. Because indeed GPU was the last organization that came out in public to defend us journalists, to defend anyone who was treated otherwise. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I will invite the Minister of Information, who I'm told is to launch this report. But I will tell you, we are very happy that we have an insider in you in government. We are partners, and I'm sure you're more aware of that than I am. We'll always cherish that relationship that we have had and keep it up. But we will keep you working in the best interests of our people. So when we come to you with things that are not comfortable, just understand us. That is what we do. Thank you very much and welcome.
Thank you so much, the chairman of the occasion, Mr. Bojang, who apparently was our staff until he was poached from us and then now works with the GT Bank. I hope and pray that you will now see the wisdom to come back and continue what you have been doing with the state broadcaster. The Honorable Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Honorable Bart Tambedu, the Director of Press and Public Relations at the Office of the President, Demba Ali Jao, former Minister of Information and also a doyen of the Gambia Press Union and the Gambian media. I see Uncle Chorno Jallo, Nana Gray Johnson, and many others who have been in the forefront, and they are still not tired, although retired. We are extremely very proud of you, our senior citizens. In our midst here also, I can see Dr. Henry Carroll, the landed Dr. Henry Carroll. I'm not a member of that very important profession. More importantly, we have our special guest in the person of Femi Falana, Ekale Baba. My Yoruba is very bad, but at least I can say I know what is Ekale, Ekaro, and Ekaso. I also recognize in our midst here Dr. Baba Galle Jallo and members of the TRRC. We are extremely very proud of you. Baba has been the standard bearer of all what it takes to be professional, to be sincere, and also to be honest. And we are very happy what he did for the Gambian media and some of us who have had the opportunity of crossing paths with him. We have also the president of the Gambia Bar Association, colleagues, and invited guests. It is my singular honor to go through this report, which I just read when I came into the hall. And I have to say that we are extremely very happy that this report for the first time is produced by our own Gambian colleagues here in the Gambia, because until now, all of us used to look forward to the annual report by the Media Foundation for West Africa, which used to document. And for the first time I met Femi Falana was in 2006, when he and some human rights lawyers were invited to a meeting in Accra. Mr. Lamin Kamara, lawyer Lamin Kamara was part of that meeting, and I think Agnes John. I was working for the BBC then, but we were invited as members of the Gambian journalists in Dakar to discuss with the human rights lawyers in West Africa about issues related to the profession in the Gambia and what needed to be done at the time to help the world understand the issues of press freedom violations in the Gambia. They came out with a very interesting report and action plan, and I think that really helped the Media Foundation for West Africa to start that very interesting advocacy to put the Gambia on the map. And we thank all those people who took part in that activity. And in our midst today, we have two notable members, Femi Falana and Lamin Kamara, and also lawyer Ami Bensouda was, I think, even the vice president of the group. We thank all of you for that very good work. I have to say that it has been a long, painful, but also a memorable work to the freedom we are enjoying today. I remember on one occasion when I was arrested for no just reason, other than the fact that I reported the arrest and detention of Demba Jao, Baba Galle, and Jiran Senghor for reporting on some, I think there was a part of the State House that actually came down. The wall came down, and then some arms were exposed, and the Daily Observer reported this. So my problem was to report actually the detention of these 3 journalists, and then I was also invited to the NIA. So I did not spend the night there, but just few hours. And then I remember Pap Sen was the one who bailed me. And on our way back, when we reached Radio Seat, before, the mile 7, before mile 2, the famous mile 2, he pleaded with me that I should stop and then go and have at least a wash, just to go and then bath in the sea, because the belief was that if you were arrested and then put in cell and you did not do that, the tendency that you will be re-arrested again was very high. And by that time, I was so tired, I told Uncle Pap, maybe we should do this next time because, I was so tired, I would not be able to do this. And Pap, with his wisdom, convinced me. And the interesting part of this, and this is very interesting, was the clothes that I actually went with to the NIA, and in that particular day, I had to drop them on the beach, because the notion was that you are likely going to be re-arrested again if you go home with the clothes that you entered in the cell with. So, these are some of the funny things that really most journalists would not know, but yes, arrests were very painful, but we also had some interesting memories about some of those arrests. I have to say that it is all not funny. Most of the time, the arrest came with some very, very, very painful memories. Some of the people that were arrested were brutally tortured. Some journalists, unfortunately, are still part of the unfortunate statistics that we are still mourning. Some paid a very heavy price. Some lost their lives. Some of us were forced out of the country. Those of you who were here, I have to say that, we are very, very, very proud of you. You did well under some very difficult circumstances. And I want to take this opportunity to thank all of you, especially the current Secretary General of the Gambia Press Union, Sekou, and the team, the young ones who took over after Ndeye Tafa Sosse's team. They did extremely well. They, instead of giving up, they set up a school to help journalists understand what needs to be done, not necessarily to run away from the realities, but to ensure that whatever they were doing was professional. And I think, this is an important opportunity to thank ourselves for what we have done and what we stood for. And we also thank our many, 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 many supporters, including the human rights lawyers of the Gambia. I have to say that despite the difficult challenge and the situation that we were confronted with, we had good men and women in the bar who stood by the media, and this was really, really commendable. We want to thank them. We also had some businessmen and women in this country who, despite some pressure exerted on them, they still embraced the media and they still continued to advertise with the media. I think this was commendable. And also the loyal readers. The newspapers were going through some tremendous difficulties, but still they were printing, and people actually continued to buy their newspapers and patronize them. This was good. I have to say that this report is really very good and useful to us. I have gone through the report haphazardly. Yes, we have seen that on page 8, where we have press freedom violations, apart from one case that involved a journalist at Faraba Bantang village, where the security forces were having some confrontation with the villagers and angry youths. None of the reported cases actually involve the government, but that does not mean that government should not act. We still have seen that most of the reported attacks on the media, especially by party militants, are still not either investigated or brought before the courts. And this is an issue that was brought to my attention as Minister of Information, and I've had the opportunity of discussing this matter with the police so that at least the media and the Gambia Press Union can be assured that as a government, we are not encouraging impunity. And because the case that involves the journalist Pamodu Bojang is already before the court, we are not going to comment on that for purpose of legal issues. We take note of the concerns raised on page 10 on issues related to criminalizing the speech and also legal policy and the environment of the media in the country. I have to say that the Attorney General and myself have been working hand in hand to see that these reforms are expedited. But as you know, I think the Attorney General himself will talk about some of these things. We are doing our very best to ensure that the media law reforms are in tandem with the criminal law reform process that has just started. And the Attorney General will hopefully give more explanation on this. But the good thing is that there has been no serious problem of access to information in this country. Since we came to power, what we have done is to ensure that we provide unfettered access to the media. Sometimes it may be difficult. Sometimes we may not come back to you on time as requested, but we always ensure that information is provided to the media. Most of the queries that come to us require detailed investigation, even on our part, because you have to collaborate with other ministries to ensure that you get the facts. Because we don't want to give information to the media and we come back and we try to retract. So as a result, some of those issues come up sometimes. I am happy that the report also acknowledges the Gambia government's contribution and also our effort in ensuring that we accept the rulings of the ECOWAS Community Court ruling against the Gambia government. We have already, I think, paid some of these compensations, and I hope the Attorney General will continue to review some of the judgments that have been made against the Gambia government, even though this was not our making. But we think as a government is all about continuity. We should accept and then see what can be done, maybe negotiate with the victims and see what we can do. We are a struggling economy, and we will do what we can to ensure that, at least these judgments are honored, and when they are honored, we negotiate with the victims to arrive at some conclusion. The GPU is very concerned about the reforms. We acknowledge that, but as I said, the Gambia government is currently reviewing the criminal laws, and this also includes the media laws that are part of the criminal laws of the country. And hopefully very soon, these things will be brought before the National Assembly so that they can be behind us. Some 2 weeks ago, I had the opportunity of meeting the Human Rights Coalition on Freedom of Information, And what we discussed was the need to have the Freedom of Information Bill in the Gambia. And they've done a very good job with the Gambia Press Union. They have already produced a draft. This draft has already been discussed with the Attorney General. And we are very happy that hopefully before the end of the year, we'll have our first Freedom of Information draft that may be discussed before in Cabinet and then to the National Assembly for consideration. We are very much committed to this because we want to ensure that the media gets the information needed for people to make informed choices. And this is something that we will work closely with the Attorney General and the coalition of civil society organizations meant to promote freedom of information in the Gambia. And also we are happy that this report acknowledges the effort of the government to support the newspapers in particular, because we have lifted the education levy on newspapers. This was a heavy burden on the print media. And 2 days ago, I've had the opportunity of meeting the the Newspaper Publishers Association in the Gambia, and we are working with them to ensure that the monies that are owed to them, especially by the government institutions and government departments, are paid. It's a commitment that we have made to ensure that the media is supported. I have read through very quickly the recommendations by the Gambia Press Union in the report. Very good recommendations, and I can assure you that these recommendations will be critically looked into, and we will work with you to implement them because they are very good recommendations. No government wants to be in the limelight for all the wrong reasons, and we want to work with the media to ensure that the necessary reforms are implemented, but also these recommendations are implemented for the general good of the media. We have to also work with the Gambia Press Union to ensure that we continue to be professional. Yes, indeed, we have social media platforms, but what is important is the traditional media should continue to play its important role because that credibility is still there. We should not be seen to be competing with the social media, because if you look at some of the platforms, they have more than 100,000 followers. This is more than the entire readership of all the newspapers combined in this country. When one person puts something on his or her timeline, you have more than 4,000 clicks. This is more than the entire listeners of a program of a radio station in the Gambia. So social media is here to stay, is good, but the traditional media should not be seen to be competing with the social media for stories. That fact-checking, that factual reporting, that credibility is still with the traditional media. And we really thank you, the Gambian journalists, for keeping the fort, for doing whatever you can to remain professional, neutral, and ethical. On this note, I want to assure the President of the Gambia Press Union and the executive of the GPU and the entire members of the Gambian media that the recommendations that you have made in this report are really good, and we will continue to work with you to implement them for the general good of all of us. I thank you all.
Honorable Minister, we are encouraged by your statement and the commitments that you've taken so far as a government to ensure all those media laws that are really unfavorable in your job are a thing of the past. We also encourage that for many years, as far as I know, probably this has never happened for the past 25 years or so, that at the GPU gathering, we have 2 ministers to attend. So we thank you for that. But Tambedu, it shows that your government is willing to listen and to work with us, and we encourage you to do that. We also have the Director of Press, Ami Bojang Sisoho, here in attendance. So the State House is also present, which is also quite encouraging. Ladies and gentlemen, on the program we should have had presentation of certificates to winners of the just ended GPU football tournament. However, for some reason, we will have to skip that. The program has been tweaked a little. Therefore, we will go to the presentations of the awards. And we're going to start with presentations of the honorary awards. And this would be by the President of the Gambia Press Union, Mr. Sirif Bojang.
Honorary awards are so many. Right. So I'll be calling them.
The fourth award goes to the Honorable Minister of Justice, Mr. Ba Tande.
So ladies and gentlemen, while we wait for the ushers to bring the award, I think it's important for us to know why we are giving the award to the Honorable Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Tambedu. And this is our message that we convey to him. The government, through your ministry, has implemented the decisions of the ECOWAS Court by paying compensation due to journalists and their families. This has not gone unnoticed by the Gambia Press Union. It goes to address a climate of impunity for crimes committed against journalists. We are also aware of your ministry's efforts to repeal draconian media laws and introduce freedom of information law. We are proud of your work. We thank you, and we hope that this award will challenge you to strive to achieve greater heights. And so as we've said before, there were pending cases at the ECOWAS Court, there were rulings at the ECOWAS Court for the compensation of journalists, and through the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, some journalists, most of them have been paid, and discussions are underway for the final payment to journalist, tortured journalist Musa Sedikan. And apart from that, Ba Tambedu has been a great friend of the Gambia Press Union, a great friend of journalists, and we want to take this opportunity to commend that and to commend him for that. So ladies and gentlemen, can we have standing ovation for Mr. Ba Tambedu? Thank you very much.
The next recipient of this honorary award is our Cisse Sabali, and we'll have MK to receive this award on her behalf. MK, please.
So Lawyer Howard Sabali is unable to join us tonight. So her award will be collected on our behalf by Seni MK Marina of the Constitutional Review Commission. And I want to make it clear, so in case Seni Marina claim this is his, this is for Howard Sabali. But we are giving this award to Howard Sabali as a result of her unflinching support for the Gambian journalists and the Gambia Press Union when things were tough. And this is our message we convey to her. As a private lawyer, you have many times risked the wrath of a dictatorship by representing the GPU and freedom of expression. The odds were many, but you were guided by your belief in freedom and justice. Your efforts are very appreciated by the GPU, including your drafting of the Freedom of Information Bill 2019. We are proud of you and your work. Thank you, and we hope that this award will strengthen an already strong relationship between you and the media towards ensuring freedom and justice for all. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for Howard Sabali.
Thank you very much. The recipient of the next award is the Media Academy for Journalism. They would come forward to receive this award. Sang and team.
So the next
Media Academy.
Yes.
For
so it's, Media Academy for Journalism and Communication, Majak. So we'll have the director, Sang Mendy.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So she will have, okay. All right. Thank you.
The Media Academy for Journalism and Communication, Majak. It's not this one? Okay. The Media Academy for Journalism and Communication, Majak, was set up in 2013 by the Gambia Press Union. The Academy was previously offering a 2-year advanced diploma, but has since 2017 revised its curriculum and now offers 4 levels of studies: Foundation, Certificate, Diploma, and Advanced Diploma. The graduates today occupy key positions in a number of newsrooms at the GPU and in government, including the Office of the President. At least 5 are now working with international news media. This is our message conveyed to Majak. Majak has, since its inception, graduated a number of well-trained journalists, and this has not gone unnoticed by the GPU. We are aware that your products hold key editorial and decision-making position in majority of the news media establishments. We say thank you for your services, and we hope this award will challenge you to strive to achieve greater heights. Thank you. Judges? This again. All of that? All right, so I have to wait for this one.
I cannot see this one. The next awardee is...
The next awardee is School of Journalism and Digital Media.
Now I want to pick up this award, Mr. President, Mr. President. Thank you very much.
The School of Journalism and Digital Media of the University of the Gambia was established in 2014. It is the first and only institution offering degree-level studies in journalism in the country. In February 2019, the SJDM graduated 13 first-ever home-growth university-trained media professionals. This is our message conveyed to the school. The SJDM has recently graduated the first batch of homegrown bachelor's degree holders in journalism, and this has not gone unnoticed by the GPU. For that, and for your commitment to improving the learning and teaching of journalism, we say thank you, and we hope that this award will challenge you to strive to achieve greater heights. Femi Falana. A former president of West Africa Bar Association, is one of Nigeria's most prominent lawyers. Over the past 3 decades, he has been at the forefront of the fight for human rights in Nigeria, as well as many parts of Africa. As an advocate, Mr. Falana defended people whose rights are violated, especially by governments. He took the cases of disappeared Gambian journalist Chief Ibrahim Mane and tortured journalist Musa Seidikan to the ECOWAS court in Abuja. In both cases, the court ordered the Gambia to pay compensation and effect law reforms. Mr. Falana was instrumental in preventing Nigerian judges from coming to the Gambia to constitute the Supreme Court in December 2016, when ex-President Yahya Jammeh attempted to use the court to overthrow the results of the election. This is our message conveyed to him. As a private lawyer, you have many times risked the wrath of dictatorship by representing Gambian journalists whose rights were violated by the government. The odds were many, but you were guided by your belief in freedom and justice. Your efforts are very appreciated by the GPU, including the victory you secured in the case of Chief Ibrahim Mane and Musa Seidikan at the ECOWAS Court of Justice. We are proud of you and your work. Thank you, and we hope that this award will strengthen an already strong relationship between you and the media towards ensuring freedom and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, dinner is being served. Row, please, the first row will be served. And the second and third row, you can please work out and help yourself. Thank you. The second and third row, where QTV is. Bosses, can you help us arrange this? It's dinner time. We want to rush the program because we've been an hour 30 minutes late.
Hello guys, you guys got very big rams. I hope you don't get it from where I'm suspecting.
Do you think you're the only one who knows where all the good news come from? My son bought me this ram all the way from abroad with baluo.
Oh yes, this must be baluo. Me too, my daughter just bought one for me. True baluo. With baluo, everything is possible.
This Tabaski, you can buy ram for your family using the trusted baluo. Just log on to the www.baluo.com website or download the app. You can buy ram, otherwise foodstuffs such as rice, sugar, cooking oil, and much more for your family this Tabaski. Baluo, better than sending money.
Dreaming of owning a property in a prime location with great proximity and fantastic neighborhood? EJ Investments Sanyang Seaview Estate is the best choice you have been waiting for. Our Sanyang Seaview Estate is approximately 15 minutes drive away from the busy hub of Brusubi roundabout and into the heart of nature, where you can have a peaceful and relaxed lifestyle with your family. You can buy a finished 4-bedroom story with 5-year flexible payment plan or a service plot with 2-year payment plan option. With over 300 homes, you will enjoy big tar roads with covered drainage, modern electrification with solar street lights, gated entrance with security post, and a breath-catching experience of our beautiful sea view and lake view. You can own a home today at our Sanyang Seaview Estate. Call us today on 446-4838 or 325-9220. Visit our website on ejinvestments.net. EJ Investments, first in property.
Look guys, you guys got very big rams. I hope you don't get it from where I'm suspecting.
Do you think you're the only one who knows where all the good news come from? My son bought me this ram all the way from abroad with baluo.
Oh yes, this must be baluo. Me too, my daughter just bought one for me. True baluo. With baluo, everything is possible.
It just shows how good the evening has become. And that's what you are called on here, to have a good evening with the Gambia Press Union. One thing I know for sure that journalists like to do is not to conform or observe protocols. That's why we're still talking when someone is talking. That's why we are arriving at different times to this very event when we are told to be here at 8 p.m. Others are walking in at 10 o'clock. It's just a question I'm asking. Do we have a bipolar approach to time and understanding of what time is? I just want to ask, are we still divided in our approach to what it is that we got to work by 10 and then we walk in by 10:50? Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, cabinet ministers here present, colleagues, distinguished invited guests, media chiefs. On this note, I wish to observe protocols because I want to be un-journalistic, respectfully. We're talking about World Press Freedom Day and the 4th edition of the National Journalism Award put together by the Gambia Press Union. The 4th edition of the GPU National Award upon us, and practicing journalists who there has put themselves and their works for scrutiny. The GPU has turned our attention to identifying, recognizing, and awarding individual media houses and groups who over the last 12 months have genuinely informed, educate, and caught our attention. This annual award is meant to coincide with the World Press Freedom Day celebration. This is themed, as you might have already known, as Media for Democracy, Journalism, and Elections in Times of Disinformation. Many speakers have spoken of the disinformation era in which social media has claimed most of the space that we all tend to very much care for. May 3rd, as always, is the date which celebrates the fundamental principles of press freedom, to evaluate press freedom around the world, to defend media attacks on their independence, and to pay tribute to journalists who might have lost their lives in exercise of their profession. World Press Freedom Day was proclaimed, as you know, by the United Nations General Assembly in 1993, following a recommendation adopted at the 26th session of the UNESCO General Conference in 1991. This in turn was response to a call by African journalists who in 1991 produced the landmark Windhoek Declaration on Media Pluralism and Independence.
At the core of UNESCO's mandate is freedom of the press and freedom of expression. UNESCO believes that these freedoms allow for mutual understanding to build a sustainable peace. It serves as an occasion to inform citizens of violations of press freedom, a reminder that dozens of countries around the world, publications are censored, fined, suspended, and closed down, while journalists, editors, and publicists are harassed, attacked, detained, and even murdered. The Gambia is no exception. It is a day to encourage and develop initiatives in favor of press freedom and to assess the state of press freedom worldwide. May 3rd acts as a reminder to governments of the need to respect their commitments to press freedom, and is also a day of reflection among media professionals about issues of press freedom and professional ethics. Just as importantly, World Press Freedom Day is a day of support for media which are targets for restraint or abolition of press freedom. It is also a day of remembrance for those journalists who lost their lives in the pursuit of a story. Considering the award to be the highest and the most prestigious journalism award in the country, the Gambia Press Union, as a flagship event of their annual commemoration of World Press Freedom Day, that the award honors and celebrates courage and excellence in Gambian journalism across all types of news and information media, from print to online, radio, television, photography, and also considering that the award is one of the many activities undertaken by the GPU to contribute to improving professionalism in the country. The judges were tasked to critically review all entries, while sticking to their terms of reference. They were meant to receive and review submissions for all the categories of the awards, shortlist candidates for all, and identify the winners from each submission for each of the categories. To identify the winners, the judges zeroed on the following aspects of each submission: the newsworthiness and angling, accuracy, factuality, style, grammar, and presentation, and of course, originality. If I can get another mic, thank you very much. The GPU Award Committee had toiled with an imperfect but an encouraging system to decide on the categories that mirror our society, and a panel of judges to determine their fate. The current state of our press and the media has come under immense scrutiny, with suggestions that the new dawn might be caused. Some of these reasons forwarded might be far-fetched, but their arguments and counter-arguments still remains valid. This suggestion would have been made more valid if we were to sample right here, right now, in this very hall, the views on the press and media by the very practitioners. The very basic tenets of society forget common sense, which is not possessed by all, but our values, our morals, traditions, virtues, all seems to have been relegated to a planet mass yet to be inhabited. Yes, we are advised to be very inquisitive, to be skeptical, persistent, remain curious, be versatile. In what context? Let's debate as it rages on. Some of our output and publications and broadcasts have become so partisan, so angry-laden, so mean, so petty, so negative, so unproductive. Instead of embarking on a simple reporting in the name of educating and informing the public, ethically, we are engaged in a debate of demonizing. Instead of questioning judgments, we question motives. Instead of listening, we continuously shouting. In the process of looking for solutions, we are busy trying to score political points as if we are one. In this age of reason, Jean-Paul Sartre, the French philosopher and playwright, suggested that when men get drunk, or when a man gets drunk, he becomes too sentimental. When a man gets drunk, he gets too sentimental. And I think we've become such a sentimental nation. because we all look drunk. We all seem offended. We all seem to have an issue. If the omen is social media, an era in which we constantly we're constantly assaulted and made to believe that we are all independent free agents. But that free agency is essentially unconnected to a real community, divorced from civic engagement, duped into believing into our own lonely primacy by a sophisticated media culture that requires you to desperately need to live in an all-consuming disposable present, with everything imaginable is perfectly in place as ordained by the Creator if you are a believer. I'm sorry. Now, this seems to be tearing apart. Sorry, the mic is playing. The desire to be forced, as in the tabloid press, to write and broadcast, and the inability to entertain the complete picture is hurting. The advent of new social media, you name it, the technology, smartphones, the ability to broadcast instantaneously from anywhere in the world means that the onus on journalists to report factually has become a greater necessity. Speed and accuracy is also crucial. Being a committed journalist, it is important that there are sacrifices to be made in a journalist's personal lives at times in order to get a job done. These remarks are made with the likes of Dada Hydra, may his soul rest in perfect peace, and Chief Ibrahim Amani and others in mind. We wish to applaud all those who came forward to submit their works and at the same time facilitate or felicitate the winners for a job well done. I wish to equally recognize the support given to all partners and civil service or civic service organizations, businesses, the Child Fund, the Westminster Foundation, AfriSol, Temple legal practitioners, friends of the GPU, both at home and abroad. I sincerely hope that every effort of this union is appreciated and granted the necessary support. We hope that the just concluded intermediate football house competition would be something on GPU's annual calendar in order to build solidarity and fraternity amongst media practitioners. I want to thank everyone, and I want to also make an appeal on behalf of the GPU that putting up such an event is an expensive one. It is one of the best things to have happened to the union, and with everything that most of the times that young journalists have been found saying or found wanting is to try to compare what was. And I think it's because of what was that brought about what is. So we must be very appreciative of the men and women who were here before. And I want us to applaud all those who were the early pioneers of press freedom and of course who fought to set up the Gambia Press Union. Please, let's applaud. Support is needed. Support is being solicited by the Gambia Press Union, especially when this award comes around for its 5th edition next year. On that note, I want to thank everyone who made this event possible, and I also want to thank the coordinator of this event, who was a link between the union, that's the award committee, and the Jajawara, for being steadfast and working hard in making sure that everything went well. For panel of juries, I thank you all for a very dedicated and committed efforts led by Agnes Tomasi, Sir Williams, Mr. Kurang, Hausum Sise, you name them. We thank you, we applaud you. Thank you very much for the job well done. The manner in which they went about executing their duties will be very much explained to you, because what happened here is called transparency. Thank you, have a fabulous night.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, for reiterating what the Minister has said earlier, that one of our challenges in the media is, of course, facts and verifying them before they come. But that's what the traditional media does. And that's the difference between the traditional media and social media. And so, yes, it's a challenge But like one of my professors told me, if I watch a football game and you watch the same football game, and you're the reporter, you want me to watch your program the next day, what would you say differently that will keep me glued to the television? Same thing, social media, whatever comes, everybody wants to be the first to say. And so the challenge becomes verifying the facts and getting the people that follow you to get what is really true about the story you're presenting to them. So the challenge continues. While we ask to be given, we should be responsible enough to ensure we do our job properly. At this point, I'll invite the Secretary General of the Gambia Press Union, Mr. Sekou Jammeh, to also deliver his remarks. Mr. Jammeh, please.
Thank you, Mr. MC. Allow me to stand on all the existing protocols. I know there are lots of honorables here, so let me save everyone with honorable this and honorable that, and say I will respectfully stand on all the existing protocols. But of course, on a day like this, when there is so much glamour, there is so much pomp and pageantry, we also pray to Allah that may we never ever forget that there were others who laid their lives for us to be here. People like Deida, people like Chief Ibrahim Mane, and quite recently, we lost our own doyen in the person of Mr. Swaibu Konate. So I am going to kindly ask that all of us stand to observe 1 minute silence for all those journalists that died, especially under circumstances that were not legal, but particularly also for someone like Uncle Swaibu Konate. So please, 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 I'm going to kindly ask all of you to stand. May God answer our prayers. Thank you all so much. I wish to apologize to particularly these wonderful people who put so much effort to organize an intermediate tournament. And we were supposed to give a trophy to the Point newspaper that defeated the Standard newspaper. Of course, media houses like GRPS crashed out, Star FM, all of them crashed out, and then Point became quite victorious. Baba, we apologize so much that we couldn't present the trophies today, but surely you will get your trophy. Thank you, thank you. So my remarks will be a story. It is about the journalist. Every morning, she wakes up. She takes a quick shower. Sometimes she doesn't do it really. She picks up her clothes with ruffled edges and collars and no matching collars. She dusts off and polishes her boots. She says her prayers. That is, if she's in the mood for it. Most journalists remember God only when they are in trouble. In fact, I was told the story of a particular journalist who was detained at the NIA. And each time, there was this particular guy who will come and tell him, can you please recite a certain surah? And when he recites the surah, then nothing will happen to you, the man will promise. And the next minute, the NIA will come after him, and they will beat him so thoroughly. And when the guy got fed up, the following time that the man came and said, recite this prayer, he told him, no, I'm not going to pray anything. I'm not going to pray. But then this journalist then waves goodbye, good day, and good luck to her family. Then walks through dirty streets, picks up a cab, and dashes off to wherever the story takes her. to the courts, to the State House, to the hospitals, to the farms, to the front lines, to the barracks, to the sea, to the skies, to the streets, and even to the graveyards. Wherever the story takes her, that's where she goes. She gathers words of truths, heads off to the office. It's now 1500 hours. She is now hungry. She hasn't had any healthy meal. Well, maybe she couldn't afford it most times, and the times that she could afford it, she either doesn't have appetite. And no wonder we have only 3 journalists in the Gambia that have pot bellies, and that includes me. And a lot of journalists in the Gambia are having ulcer, unfortunately. But then this journalist goes to her office, she buries her head in her computer, types out the words of truth, and submits to her editor, who probes and harasses her for the way she writes people's names. The story is done. She packs up her backpack, picks up roasted groundnut from a vendor on the roadside, and heads out for home. Now there's a tinge of smile on her face, even though she is torn between hope and anger. Tomorrow, that powerful man that raped that young girl in the neighborhood will be exposed and lynched in the court of public opinion. That government official that embezzled funds for farmers will account for his misdeeds. And finally, women and children, the differently abled, and all those that are marginalized and downtrodden will be heard. The journalist is happy. This is the joy of journalism. In the words of an American comedian, we comfort those that are afflicted and afflict those that are comfortable. But it's now 11 p.m. at night. She arrives home, tired and haggard. Her family is asleep. Now that's not good, but what is worse is that someone powerful somewhere had taken advantage of another, and that she cannot compromise even at the altar of the comfort of her family. Journalism is not just any other noble profession. It is one that put one's own comfort secondary to the comfort of others, and one that puts the interests of the collective above and over one's own interests, safety, and welfare. Rock the boat, if you may. Wake the lion, if you may. Bite a snake's tail, if you may. She knows it. It's her calling. She is aware that the truth that she tells may kill her. Many like her were killed, tortured, and jailed. She knows that. But someone has to do it, to stand for justice and freedom for all. And if it has to be her, then so be it, because thanks to her, her country attained independence. Thanks to her, her country defeated dictatorship. It has to be her to bring unity, sanity, and enforce freedom and inclusive development. She never gets recognized, sadly, for her sacrifice. Today is her turn to be celebrated in this very modest way. Let us all, politicians and police, diplomats and doctors, lawyers and lawmakers, all of us, let us recognize those journalists that are selfless, that are out there every day to give us the information that we need, to read the newspapers, to sit in our comfort zones and listen to television or watch whatever we think we needed to watch. For us, through this platform, we have come quite impressively far in taking journalism away from the workshops and talkshops to where the real issues are. And we thank all those who support us in this journey in any shape or style. And those who continue to support and believe in press freedom and believe in journalism, we thank all of you. But I must thank all the journalists who had faith in this competition and participated. And to all those that are shortlisted, thank you so much. If you don't win, let us keep trying. Mr. Chairman, thank you so much.
Thank you, Seru. You've been speaking about this, and know you eventually are going to deliver an eloquent statement, captivating and educative as well. At this point, the President had promised that the award committee will take center stage and explain how they had gone about vetting the many applications they've had. And so it's important at this point we invite Agnes Tamasi to make a statement on behalf of her team. Thank you, Agnes.
Thank you, Master of Ceremony. Good evening. We have the Attorney General. I can see the Minister of Information. That's not one. Hello. Okay. Good evening to you all. Director of Press. We have seen, I can see a lot of distinguished guests representing the TRRC, the CRC, members of the Bar Association, the Haidara family, human rights lawyers, representatives of the Media Council, the private sector, doyens in the profession, GPU president, executive members, and Secretary General, fellow members of the press, fellow jury members. It is an honor for me to stand here and represent other members of the jury. The judges met on Saturday, 22nd June 2019 to review, discuss, and collate the different points given. And this meeting was held at the GPU headquarters in Bakau. Who are these jury members? I will call them and you'll see them. I know you've read about them. We had with us, we were about 6, Mr. Abdullahi Quran, a university lecturer. Mr. Quran. We have Hasum Sise, a historian, director of the National Council for Arts and Culture. Esau Williams is a a journalist with the BBC World Service. Aisha Dabo is a journalist, blogger. She joined us on Skype. She's not here today, but together we worked a whole Saturday looking at all the, all the entries. But we didn't do it on Saturday. We did it privately in our own places because all the submissions, everything was given to every jury member. And we painstakingly went through each one of them. And when we met on Saturday, is to come out with the best 3 out of each category, discuss it, and finally identify the best 3 out of everything that the judges took. Considering that the award is the highest and most prestigious journalism awards in the country, organized by the Gambia Press Union as a flagship event of the annual commemoration of World Press Freedom Day, that the award honors and celebrates courage and excellence in Gambian journalism across all types of news and information media, print, online, radio, television, and photography. Also considering that the awards is one of the many activities undertaken by GPU to contribute to improving professionalism in the country, the judges critically reviewed all entries whilst following the outlined process. We received and reviewed submissions, we shortlisted candidates, and we identified the winner, as I said earlier on. And to identify the winners, we looked at newsworthiness and angling, as we were asked to do, accuracy and factuality, style and grammar and presentation, originality, and others. We have few points to note here after doing our work because we presented a report to the GPU. So I'm going to just note some of the few points for you. The panel recognizes the efforts being employed to improve the practice of journalism in the country, the different training facilities, university, the Media Council, and the improvements in the different media outlets. The submissions reviewed took into consideration the criteria outlined by the GPU. So consequently, to start with, all submissions that were broadcast or published in the year 2019 were disqualified because we were reviewing 2018. So it should be noted. The panel of judges also reviewed submissions with a special focus on originality, submissions in which the journalists were creative in their thinking, presentation, and production as a whole, as opposed to submissions that were based on daily news reporting. Maybe I should explain a little here. What we mean is that we were looking at originality. We were looking at creativity, ideas that originated from the journalist. We were looking at a journalist sitting out there, seeing a problem, looking at an issue, and developing a concept, coming out with a script, and a good production. Not going for event reporting when Mr. Da said this, the Honorable Minister said this, and then the Prime Minister said that, and then the Secretary of State closed the meeting. Those kinds of reports we automatically took out because we want Gambian journalism to be at the level that it should be. We did not grant any award for the investigative and court reporting categories, as it was unanimously agreed that the submissions required more work to make it good investigative and court reporting submissions. The travel, tourism, and culture category also received no award, as the submissions were not up to expectation. None of the stories were original, impressive stories, but the normal event reporting, like I mentioned earlier. There was no submission for the Photo News Award category. You will find out the winners later, so I wouldn't mention the comments we had on that. It was also realized that submissions for the radio category were very few. Radio stations did not feature in the competition as they were expected to, considering the number of radio stations in the country and the power of radio in Africa and in Gambia in particular. We still need radio. You have many radio stations. Please work on presenting your submissions next time. Based on the entries received, we did not identify a TV Journalist of the Year, considering the criteria and the products that we receive, because we believe there are many categories. You work as a TV producer, you work as a TV presenter. The work that was produced, we couldn't have used it to say, this is the TV personality of the year, because we would destroy the profession. We want higher standards. We did not have a Radio Station of the Year award, as there was no entry for that category. Newspaper Year of the Year, no submission made for this category. Okay, it is also to be noted and put on record that we did everything to the best of our ability to come out with what we had, with the awards we have, based on what we received. But we did not just base it on what we received, but we looked at the ethics of the profession. We looked at professionalism as a whole, because we believe it should be upheld. We believe that these awards are not just meant to give awards. They are meant to improve our practice, so that when you are awarded, you know you deserve it. We had few recommendations. We also think, based on what we received, that GPU should be involved in more outreach activities to better explain the rationale of the awards ceremony in order to get more journalists and media houses involved, especially radio stations. GPU should, as part of their outreach activities, talk about the need for original, creative productions in order to avoid receiving submissions based on just event coverage. As part of its training activities, we have recommended to the GPU that they should work on the orientation or coaching of journalists on court and investigative reporting. We believe GPU should also work with editors to encourage them in order to improve language challenges, as could be seen in the different submissions. English language is the medium we're using to write, to produce. Let us improve the language whilst using it. Let us use it to the highest of our abilities. And we believe editors should be there to uphold that everything is done in the right manner. Finally, on behalf of the panelists, I thank the GPU for the confidence bestowed in us and congratulate the winners of this year's award. We also call on the runners-up to take up the opportunity to come up with more original and creative ideas. I think that's our message this year. It is a challenge. Let's be creative in our thinking. As journalists, let's start looking at how we can improve situations, how we can contribute. I know you're doing a lot. We recognize, that's why we started by saying that. We recognize all the efforts. But in the submissions, we also saw the gaps. And we are calling on everybody to continue the hard work that you have been doing and to improve on what you are doing. We believe that the runners-up next year will do better, will come out with more original, more creative, more professional work that would be awarded. On behalf, again, of these people, I start this time with Iso Williams from the BBC World Service, Abdullah Kurang, Hasum Sise, Aisha Dabo, and myself. We say thank you, and we hope that next year it will be greater and better. Thank you for listening.
The comedian said, when you give women such kind of responsibilities, what would you expect? I am the best. So is the women answering. Anyway, thank you very much. Can we put our hands together for the panelists, please? The judges. I know the University of the Gambia has a school, so Nana, a challenge is thrown. The GPU school, and so many other schools that are offering journalism training. But the challenge goes back as well to the media houses. There used to be in-house trainings. If they're no longer happening, they're very, very important because they keep us on our toes and make us better all the time. And we will go to the awards now. The categories are Children's Reporting Award, Agricultural Reporting Award, Political Reporting Award, Human Rights Reporting Award, Business and Finance Reporting, Sports Reporting, Environment Reporting, Health and Medical Reporting, Women's Reporting, Community Radio Station of the Year, Foreign Media Correspondent of the Year, Newspaper and Online Journalist of the Year, Radio Journalist of the Year. The first category, Business and Finance Reporting Award. The comedian that came here first said, a lady here cut his eyes. So perhaps he didn't have that courage to attack. I'll add more salt to wound by inviting Horija Balagay to do us the honor to please unveil the winner for this award and present the award to the winner. Yes, it's your time, enjoy it. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for Horija. This award is proudly sponsored by Africell. You know Musa, he's like me. He has been harassing me all evening. I've not mentioned Africell for once. Musa, I'm sorry for that. Africell has always, from day one, supported this award. In fact, one of the biggest donors to this award from start to today. So, madam, there is the winner in that envelope. put it out and let us know, please.
It says Business and Finance Reporting Award, not the Human Rights Award.
No, it's a Business and Finance show.
I'll announce it nonetheless. The winner of the Business and Finance Reporting Award, sponsored by ACTISEL, goes to Kemba.
Is a reporter with the Foreign newspaper. All the nominees in this category were or are who work for the Foreign newspaper. Morudem was one of them, as well as Mr. Keba Jeffer. The next award, Sports Reporting Award, will invite the former president of the Gambia Press Union, Mr. Bai Emil Toure, to do us the honor to unveil and present this award. Sports Reporting Award. The nominees are Mamadou Ba, he's a freelance reporter. We have Mamadou Kamara, Mamadou Gajaga of the QTV. You know, I forgot my spectacles at home, so you can notice from start to now, I've been struggling to read.
You have Mamadou Gajaga and Suleiman Ba.
And Suleiman Ba of the Foreign newspaper.
Good evening, everybody. The winner of this category is Mamadou Gajaga.
Big Sam has produced a winner. Nakewale. Musa, where's my brother? Big Sam.
And you have to say all
Thank you very much.
for these categories will go home with 5,000.
I'm so you're proud of him.
All the winners of these categories will go home with 5,000. Not today, but they will all get 5,000.
They all receive flags, certificates, and $5,000. Next award, Environment Reporting. We have Jeneba Sonko, QTV. Janke Toure, GRTS, and Mustafa Dabo. He has always won something. I wish you bad luck, Mustafa. You aren't going to win a thing tonight. I will struggle to pronounce this name because I doubt what I'm told is right. It says he's called Pilar Requena. So he's a colleague from Spain, and he's here to join us. Mr. or Madam Pilar, welcome on stage to present this award. Environment Reporting. We are trying to encourage camaraderie between us and others who are not Gambians, but they are friends of the Gambia and friends of the media.
So now you can go.
Okay. The Environment Reporting Award goes to Mustafa Dalma.
You are reading too much. You have to stop reading.
Mustafa Kedabo is also the Vice President of the Gambia Press Union, and he insists I should announce that. He has won an award each year with stage one. In football, we call such kind of people goats. They take everything. The next award on the line is Health and Medical Reporting Award. Here we have Keba J. from Foroya, Winifred Nicole GRTS, and Aliou Cisse QTV, formerly Daily Observer. Abdullah Gazama, Deputy Managing Director, GRTS, is now here with us. I know he is not very good with that though. We would invite Jundu at this point to do us the honor to award the Health and Medical Reporting Award. Keba Jebang Foroya, Winifred Nickel, GRTS, and Aliou Cisse.
Dude, you are fine now. I'm going down.
Health and Medical Reporting Award. The winner is Aliou Cisse.
Aliou Cisse is also the Secretary General of the Gambia Sports Journalists Association, or the Sports Journalists Association of the Gambia. Cameraman, I need that projector. So please, Momodu. Women's Reporting Award. I'm told it was Ami Bojang Siso. Is still here with us? Is Ami here? No, she's gone. We will have Lawyer Lamin LS Kamara to do us the honor to present this award. LS, please. Nominees in this category are Uminjai GRTS. I remember she has been a winner. Falu ML Janko, DJ Senator. Fatu Elika Muloshi. They are all GRTS. Why would you allow this? No. Well, anyway, if they are more deserving, they are my colleagues as well, so I wish them good luck.
The winner of the Women's Reporting Award is Falilu M. L.
Follow Emel Janko. Maybe I'll name again Brikama FMB, where he started, Unique FM, and eventually GRTS. Sanedo is one of our icons on television now. But what surprises me is the contest was between him and two women. So that's good. If men are recognizing women, that's good. The fight used to be their fight alone, but now we will join them. The next category, Children's Reporting Award. The nominees are Aissatou Jada, GRTS, Momodou Jao, The Point newspaper. We will invite Mr. Farmer Adabo.
Maybe you may want to also mention Aissatou has been winning all the previous years. Aissatou Jada.
Mr. Farmer Adabo to come forward and do us the honor.
I think he left. Come. Call someone. Call Alaji Baro.
Alaji Baro is with us. Please, Alaji, can you come forward and do us the honor to present this award?
If Njulu represented here and I wasn't called, I was going to boycott this next year. Here, Njulu, just so you know. The winner for Children's Reporting Award is Aissatou.
Aissatou has become a specialist in this area. She has scooped this award for the past 2 years, and this is the third she's winning. Congratulations to the lady. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you very much. We will have
and the winner for the Agriculture Reporting Award goes to Alu Cisse.
Thank you very much. We'll invite a former Vice President of the Gambia Press Union, Mr. Pamodu Fall, to do us the honor, and still a member of the GPU, to unveil and present this award to the winner. Sinken Sentam. Long time ago on TV, the gentleman, we used to call him Sinken Sentam. I think some guys here will remember that. And you want to tell us what that meant?
No comment. Thank you. The political reporting award winner is Mustafa Keita.
There will be a restriction next time. Some people are not going to win anything. Now, seriously? Congratulations, Pamodu Fall. Madi Jobate will be invited to do us the honor to present the Human Rights Reporting Award. It's a deliberate attempt. You know how dear this is to you. Put your hands together for the gentleman. The organizing committee, we apologize.
Human rights reporting award.
No, he's gone. Moving to the next category. This one.
Goes to my son. Mustafa Keita.
You should be banned from this award.
I'll be sending a petition round. Please sign. Mustaka must not contest again. Jibairu Jane was a former Secretary General of the Gambia Press Union. He will do us the honor to present Community Radio of the Year. I know you're not scared of this crowd, so please come.
of the Year award goes to, I have to look at it very well. We are Community Radio.
With a desktop, a laptop, and this is courtesy of Unique Solutions. Thank you so much for Yusuf and team for the support. Thank you very much. The next award. All right, Sang, you gotta wait for a second because they're receiving the computer, the desktop, and the laptop. I hope Big Sam can carry that on his head tonight. Somebody will carry that. We want to support our community radio stations. We want to improve their lot. We want them to serve our communities better, and computers are very important. So that's why when Unique gave a computer, a desktop, and KMF gave a laptop, we decided it should go to the winner in this category. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for KMF and Unique Solutions. Sang Mendy would do us the honor to present the award for the Foreign Media Correspondent of the Year. Sang is the Principal and Director journalist. Thanks so much, Sang. You know what?
Foreign News Media Correspondent of the Year goes to Sangule Janko.
The West Africa Democracy Radio. Yeah. Okay, Sankule is not with us, but the friend is here. He's in Dakar, I understand. He's here to pick. If you listen to that radio station every morning, you will hear him. He is such a very good reporter. An awesome voice. This category was reserved for our journalists that report for foreign media houses. They're also so much important to what we do. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the newspaper and online journalist. Newspaper, journalist, and online, one person Wednesdays. At this point, we invite the Minister of Information to do us the honor to present this award. S&S Properties, land speculators, has given us some plots of land, And so the winner here, if you don't already have a plot of land, and then you have one, now go think of doing the blocks. Because you're going to go home with a piece of land, courtesy of SNS Properties.
I'm really jealous. The person is going out with a piece of land, and the winner is no other person than GRTS. I'm really very jealous today. I mean, I thought GRTS being big, with so many programs, they would have, or they could have won a lot of awards had they participated. But I'm very proud of QTV. Just 1 year into operation, and they have won 3 or 4 awards. Thank you so much. It shows that the media landscape has changed, and let the old boys actually be on their feet. We are really proud of you, QTV. And the winner, who is going home with a piece of land, is Mustafa Kedam.
Please, can we all give our hands to this gentleman? He has taken it all. Honestly, this is touching. A standing ovation for this gentleman. Please, Johnny. Thank you so much, Mr. National. Thank you very much. The boy from Badibu has done it. Now you can see why my petition should be signed. Because it's becoming rather uncompetitive. SNS Properties, thank you so much for your support.
Oh, Fatu. Oh, okay, Fatu is coming.
Now we're going to sell this. Fatu, how much are you paying for it?
The Care Fatu team is coming.
Care Fatu.
Thank you.
No. This is radio. Now you are going to radio journalist of the year. So you call the minister for
The final one. Is the radio journalist of the year. And we will invite the Minister of Justice, the Attorney General, to do us the honor to present this award. Thank God Mustafa is not a radio person, so he's not a nominee here.
This one also, the person is going home with a plot of land, courtesy of SNS Properties. Do it.
The winner for the Radio Journalist of the Year is Sankule Janko.
Thank you very much. And SNS Properties are giving him a plot of land. So I post recently from a journalist that says, if you the things are changing there. Things are changing there. Please. Probably that's why Musa Sisi chooses to go to Africa. But he may have a comeback. Thank you very much. It has been a night. It's awesome, it's beautiful. Musa and team, you've done a very good job. And again, I will add to Musa's voice. It has not been easy. We want people to adopt the categories that we have, and probably we can strike a kind of an understanding, probably have your name inscribed somewhere as the support of this award. Musa, it has been your name.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Such a proud and fruitful night for everyone here present. Honorable Minister, thank you so much for coming. LS, Koraja, and Mr. and Mrs. Balagay, Mr. Barrow, sorry. Thank you so much for coming. We're so thrilled that this thing ended in this manner, because this is a vindication of what people believe in. And of course, the judges and the final judges who went to work and brought us these fabulous winners, just shows us what is at stake. And proud of them, proud of their efforts, proud of their institutions, proud of everything that everyone here was able to do. Together, the GPU can take us, can make us sign in a manner in which is appreciative of all. I want to thank every individual who supported the union. I want to thank the institutions, I want to thank the businesses, and of course, holding many of you to come forward next time. On behalf of the President and the Secretary and the entire membership of the Cabinet President, the award committee, the head of the panel of jurists, we thank you so much. Thank you for coming out powerful time. Thank you very much.
Dreaming of owning a property in a prime location with great proximity and fantastic neighborhood? EJ Investments Sanyang Seaview Estate is the best choice you have been waiting for. Our Sanyang Seaview Estate is approximately 15 minutes drive away from the busy hub of Brusubi roundabout and into the heart of nature, where you can have a peaceful and relaxed lifestyle with your family. You can buy a finished 4-bedroom story with 5-year flexible payment plan, or a service plot with 2-year payment plan option. With over 300 homes, you will enjoy big tar roads with covered drainage, modern electrification with solar street lights, gated entrance with security post, and a breath-catching experience of our beautiful sea view and lake view. You can own a home today at our Sanyang Seaview Estate. Call us today on 446-4838 or 325-9220. Visit our website on ejinvestments.net. EJ Investments, first in property.
Look guys, you guys got very big rams. I hope you don't get it from where I'm suspecting.
Do you think you're the only one who knows where all the good news come from? My son bought me this ram all the way from abroad with baluo.
Oh yes! This must be baluo. Me too, my daughter just bought one for me. True baluo. With baluo, everything is possible.
This Tabaski, you can buy ram for your family using the trusted baluo. Just log on to the www.baluo.com website or download the app. You can buy ram, otherwise foodstuffs such as rice, sugar, cooking oil, and much more for your family this Tabaski. Baluo, better than sending money.